Payoff Pitch Baseball proudly presents the 1994 Payoff Pitch Season Restart. Today's date, August 21st, 1994. Today's game, it's the Florida Marlins versus the Los Angeles Dodgers from Dodger Stadium. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Robert from RGL 518, welcoming you to Sunday afternoon baseball. I usually like to do games in the afternoons on a Sunday, try to get the game out the way because prime time on a Sunday is a mix. Plus, I actually want to watch the Mets and Yankees play that exhibition matchup on ESPN. But other than that, it's time for some baseball. Today, it's the Marlins versus the Dodgers here at Dodger Stadium. And this actually is a very important game for the Dodgers, and I'll show you the standings. There's Steeler fans already shown up in the ballpark. Please pull up a chair. We're probably going to have hopefully another exciting game. As you take a look at the standings right here, the Dodgers have a record at 500. They've gone 3-5 since the start of the restart, and they are at 61-61. And they only lead the Giants by 3.5 games, and the Rockies about 5 games back. So this is a very important game for Los Angeles because if they lose today, they will fall to under 500. And the thing about it is, if you're not going to win the division here in the National League West, you're not making the playoffs because Atlanta and Houston own the wild card spots, and nobody's close to them in a wild card. So the National League is pretty much set already as playoff teams are to go. All right, it just depends who's going to be in the playoffs, or I should say, what seeding, who's going to win the divisions, and who's going to be in the wild card series. Meanwhile, the Florida Marlins actually have gotten off to a pretty good start. They're 6-2 since the restart. They've gone to 57-66, but they still trail Atlanta and Montreal by a whole bunch of games. So Florida's not in it as really at any point right now, unless they win maybe another 20 games, maybe. But the Marlins today are going to play a little spoiler. So that's today's standings, as you can see there. And of course, we'll have the 10-minute ticker at seventh inning stretch. I've also already posted the schedule for this week on Tabletop Baseball Plus. Tonight, we got Charlie Hough, who actually was the opening day pitcher for the Marlins in 1993, but he takes on Orel Hershiser of the Dodgers. This is an important game for LA, but the Marlins will like to play some spoiler, and we'll see what happens tonight, especially with the Dodgers still trying to hold on to that very slim 3.5-game lead in the National League West. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Florida Marlins. We have Chuck Carr batting first. Jerry Brown will bat second. Gary Sheffield will bat third. Orestes Estrada gets the call, batting fourth. Jeff Conine will bat fifth. Brett Barbary will bat sixth. Benito Santiago seventh. Kurt Abbott will bat eighth. And Charlie Hough, the pitcher, will be batting ninth. Defensively for the Dodgers, we've got Karros at first base. DeShields at second base. Offerman is at short. Wallach is at third. In left field, we have Rodriguez. Center field is Butler. In right field is Mondesi. Behind the plate, Piazza. And on the mound for the Los Angeles Dodgers today is Orel Hershiser. 6 wins, 6 losses, a 3.79 ERA. He averages about 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, and a homer per 9 innings pitched. Orel Hershiser, that's not one of his better years, but of course he was 36 years old at this time, so Hershiser's career was really beginning to start winding down. But the Dodgers still believed he was capable. And even though the Dodgers right now are leading the National League West by about 3.5 games, but they do not really. I think they just want to continue to play hard, but we still got a whole month to play. Sports Time Machine has joined the game. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What was my feeling as Dolphin Stadium is baseball? Was there any true attraction to it? I'll be honest with you. Dolphin Stadium or Pro Players or Pro Joe Robbie Stadium was called in '94 before they became known as Pro Player. I actually liked it. I didn't think it was that bad of a ballpark, but it was. But the problem was it was really way too big for fans. I mean, the thing could seat about 75,000 at that stadium. But I liked it. Really, it wasn't a bad thing. Plus, you had the teal monster, so you had something out there to make it give the stadium a little bit of to give it a little bit of atmosphere. So I actually didn't mind it personally. A lot of people didn't. Getting there was a lot easier than it is getting to Marlins Park right now. And going to Marlins Park is a real pain in the butt. And I do go to it. I do go to at least 1 or 2 games a year to Marlins Park, once to see at least the Mets play a game there, and of course to see the Marlins as a Marlins fan. I go at least twice a year. But we got a big game here at Dodger Stadium. Absolutely gorgeous ballpark. It's always been one of the most beautiful ballparks in baseball, and the Dodgers are lucky to have a stadium like that. They just finished doing some more renovations to it for 2020. But here at Dodger Stadium, it was kind of neutral. Dodger Stadium will have a wheelhouse of 1 to 45 right-handed batter, 1 to 43 left. Pretty neutral really. So we're going to see how this game goes in this game as Florida and Los Angeles meet off. Let's get things going here. Let's go to the top of the first inning as we're ready to play ball. Leading off for Florida will be Chuck Carr. Carr batted .279 with a homer against right-handed pitching. So I'm actually thinking Florida could actually play a good game today, as the Marlins have actually won the first 2 games in this series against the Dodgers, so they're actually going for a sweep. Must-win game for LA, in my opinion. Must-win game. Let's get the game going. Here's the first pitch. And it is an 8. It's a 55, and Chuck Carr is going to start the game off with a single into center field. A base hit for Carr. He'll hold it first on a single there on a tough. So Orel Hershiser gives up a first base hit. Carr will hold it first. It is an 8, so he's not in the steal rating, so he will stay at first. And the batter will be Jerry Brown. Brown batted .280 with a home run against right-handed pitching in '94 for the Marlins. And let's see what we get with this pitch here. Carr is on it first. He will not steal. Here's the pitch. And that is that is an 8 and a 43. So that's a tough, a 43. And this one is going to be a ground ball to first. That's an 8. Jerry Brown's double play rating is a 6. Hershiser is a 9. The only play that Karros has is to throw to second to get Carr, and that's it. Brown will be safe at first on the fielder's choice. Brown will hold it first. He will not steal. He doesn't have the steal rating. And the next batter will be Gary Sheffield. Sheffield should be in the Hall of Fame, period. I have no doubt. Gary Sheffield is a Hall of Famer. This year in '94, 307 average, 19 home runs. Why is Sheffield not in the Hall of Fame? Because of the Mitchell Report. A lot of people felt that Gary Sheffield was one of the people taking steroids. Because if Gary Sheffield was to go into the Hall of Fame, he would be the first Marlin cap. He would be wearing a Florida Marlins cap. Not a Dodger cap, not a Mets cap or any other cap. He would be wearing a Marlins cap. So he would be the first Marlin to go in. So Sheffield did the bat. Let's see what Hershiser does here. And we got an 11. That's wheelhouse, but it's going to be 89. And an 89, which is actually very close, but it won't matter. It's going to be a fly ball to left. Coming under this one will be Rodriguez. It was actually hit pretty hard, but not hard enough. Rodriguez is there for the second out. And I just realized I'm missing my thing here. Give me a moment. I'd like to let you know that Joe Bryan has updated his website. He now has this available with wooden pegs and a out marker, and he redid this. So this one here was printed by my printer. He now has one available for sale, and of course I've already put it in my cart to order for tomorrow, as long, of course, with his remaining season. So they are available. Okay. So 2 outs now. Brown has to hold it first. And that will bring up another one of the best baseball names in history, Orestes Destrada. How can you not love a guy by the name of Orestes? You gotta love it. Gotta love it. Another great baseball name. Orestes Destrada, though, batted .185 with 3 homers against right-handers in '94. Greg Colburn really was the main first baseman. Exactly, STM. He's going to fall short like Fred McGriff did. But Sheffield's got over 500 home runs, so I just don't understand. Fred McGriff's got 490. I think he got, 493? Sheff's got over 500. Every player that's over 500 home runs in the Hall, except for the ones that are picked up by steroids. I don't understand. Like Man-Ram and that kind of thing. Here's the pitcher, Destrada. Greg Colburn really was the Marlins' main first baseman in '94, but he gets to start today. Here's the pitch. That's a 10. That's going to be an in play. That's going to be a 25, and that's popped it up to first base. Coming over to it is going to be Karros, and he will squeeze it for the out. So no runs and a hit as Brown is stranded at first base, and that ends the inning. So we're going to go to the bottom half of inning number 1, and we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the 94 Dodgers. Delino DeShields bats first. Brett Butler will be batting second. Mike Piazza bats third. Eric Karros will bat fourth. Tim Wallach will bat fifth. Henry Rodriguez bats sixth. Raul Mondesi bats seventh. Jose Offerman will bat eighth. And Orel Hershiser will bat ninth. Defensively for Florida, Destrada at first base. Barbary is at second base. Brown is at third. A shortstop is Abbott. In left field is Conine. In center field is Carr. Right field, Sheffield. The catcher is Santiago. And on the mound for the Florida Marlins will be Charlie Hough. Tough year for him. 5 wins, 9 losses, 5.15 ERA. He averages about 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, and a homer and a half per 9 innings. So, and Charlie Hough, of course, here was 46 years old. So here he is pitching at 46 in 1994. So his career was over, but he gets to start today against Orel Hershiser. Remember, Charlie Hough was on the Dodgers many seasons ago. This Dodger team, you would think with the lineup I just announced, you'd think this Dodger team would be better than what they were. There was a reason for that, and I'll tell you what it is later. Here's Delino DeShields. He leads off, bats .239 with 2 homers against righties, and he'll go up against Hough. Here's the pitch, and it starts with an 8. That's a ballpark. 68. That's going to be in play, and the number is an 86, and that one is a ground ball right to second. Coming up for it is Barbary. He gets it, throws to first, and we got one down. On a weak grounder to second. And the batter now will be Brett Butler. Butler had a very good season in 94, batting .329 with 7 homers against righties. 37 years old at this time, and he was still cranking it. But he knew his time was coming up too. You know, like in the 70s and 80s and 90s, you know, a lot of ball players usually didn't last that, always in the 70s, the baseball players usually lasted a long time. Today, if you're considered 34 or 35 years old, you're considered old. And give me one moment because the dice just went under the desk. That stinks. Hold on. And we're back. Hate it when it does that. So there's one out. Let's see what Charlie Hough does against Butler. Let's get the game underway here. It's 8, and that's another ballpark, but that's going to be wheelhouse. That's an 0-1. And Butler is an 89, and that's not going to do it. That's going to be another hit well, ground ball to second. And it's definitely going to be Barbary getting that one as well. And there are 2 outs. 2 ballparks, but neither of them hit hard. Bad dice, right? Neither of them hit hard. But there are 2 down. And that brings up this guy, Mike Piazza. 26 years old at this time. And really now just becoming to be the hitter they hoped they would be. .309 average, 17 home runs against right-handed pitching. Hall of Famer, wears a Mets cap, as he should, and the best hitting catcher in baseball history. Period. Don't need to say any more than that. Not the best overall catcher in baseball history, but the best hitting catcher. So 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Piazza from Hough, and that is a 7. That's a patient. It's a 59, and that one's a fly ball to right field. And Sheffield's going to get under this one, and he will make the grab. So 2 hard-hit grounders, But that's all the Dodgers can muster. One inning is already in the books, and we've got no score. We go to the top of inning number 2 in this very important game for the Dodgers. And there's BBG. He made it. Welcome to Dodger Stadium today for tonight's Marlins-Dodgers game. And leading off for the Florida Marlins will be Jeff Conine, the Barbarian. Mr. Marlin, Jeff Conine, batted .321 with 12 homers against right-handers in 1994. I always felt that if the Marlins were to ever get really their first ever Hall of Famer, it really should be this guy. But unfortunately, he doesn't have the stats to get in. But you know what? I might put him in the Hall of the Very Good. I thought Conine was definitely at least an above-average player. I put him in maybe the Hall of the Very Good. Here's the pitch from Hershiser. Remember, very important game for the Dodgers here. It's a 5. That's an in-play 0-5. That's going to be a base hit by Jeff Conine as he slaps this one deep to center field, and that's going to bounce off the wall. Conine's going to slide into second for 2, and he has it. A leadoff double for Jeff Conine. A very well-hit ball by Conine. It bounces off the wall, and Butler has to throw it back in. And so, again, the Marlins start with a leadoff base runner. And that will bring up Brett Barbary. Now, Brett Barbary, batted .292 with 5 home runs. But really, what's Brett Barbary really known for? Was it for his hitting? No, it was for his wife, Julian Barbary. I think that's all I need to say. Brett Barbary, the batter. Let's see what Hershiser does. Conine on second, not running, of course. Here's the pitch. And that's snake eyes. That's a patient. That's an 0-2, and Barbary will draw the walk. A base on balls for Barbary right there. And now runners at first and second and nobody out. What do I think on Ted Simmons? Ted Simmons is an enigma to me. I'm not entirely sure. He did have some great seasons, yes. But whether being a Hall of Famer, he did have good averages. He could hit, and he was definitely a better position at catcher than Piazza was. I don't know. There are certain things I could argue for his induction, and some I can't. But I'm sorry. Until they put Keith Hernandez in the Hall of Fame still doesn't know what they're doing when it comes to certain players. Here's Benito Santiago. This guy could throw runners out from his knees, and that's why his arm rating in this game was a 2. Benito Santiago the problem, if you take Benito Santiago's fielding ability, his arm, and you combine it with Mike Piazza, you would have the best catcher in history. Benito Santiago batted .245 with 8 home runs against righties in 94. But runners at first and second, and the Marlins have a good chance to jump out in front. So here's the pitch. And that is a 5. That's an in-play 16, and that is going to be a single off of Hershiser. That is a single off of Hershiser. A sharp liner into center field. Runner on first advances 2 bases. Runner on second scores. And the Marlins will take the 1-0 lead. To the dismay of the Dodger fans. Yeah, best Marlins catcher, Pudge. That I won't disagree with. Pudge definitely was the best Marlins catcher. There's no doubt in my mind on that. Pudge is definitely the best Marlins catcher. Got something sticky on the cards here. I'll find out what it is. Probably some tape or something. All right. Okay, so runners at first and third and still nobody out. The Marlins jump out in front 1-0 now. And the batter now for Florida will be Kurt Abbott. So Orel Hershiser already in some trouble. And this important game for the Dodgers means more to LA than it does to Florida, but the Dodgers need to pick it up here, so we'll see what happens now. Kurt Abbott batted .244 with 7 home runs against righties. Runners at first and third. The Dodgers are going to play for the double play. They'll concede the run. It's early. So here's the pitch to Abbott. And that is a 6. That's a patience of 38. And Kurt Abbott is going to swing for a base hit. It's a line drive into center field. Runner on first advances 2 bases. Barbary walks home. Santiago will hold at third base. Abbott holds it first. And right now, the Marlins are putting on a hitting clinic on Hershiser, as that is the 4th straight base hit given up by Orel. And it's now a 2-0 lead for the Marlins. And runners still at the corners and nobody out. Oh my, Tommy Lasorda already getting a little bit nervous in the dugout. And he knows he's going to go out there and talk to Orel, see if he's all right. And you're already down 2-0 at home. The Marlins have already taken 2 games against the Dodgers in this series. 2 simulated, of course. But they should get the next out. Here's Charlie Hough. Charlie Hough uses pitcher hitting card number 3. So runners at first and third. And they're going to go ahead now, and they're going to still concede the run. So they're going to go for the double play. And we'll see if Orel Hershiser, of course, could strike him out. So here's the pitch on Hough. That's a 4. That's ballpark. That's a 31. That's wheelhouse. And it's a 15. And yes, Charlie Hough gets a base hit. It's a single for Charlie Hough. Oh, my. That is a single. It's a line drive into center field. Runner on first advances 1 base. Abbott will hold at second as Hough holds at first. And coming home is Santiago. And it's now 3-0 Marlins. A base hit for Hough. That's the 5th straight hit given up by Orel Hershiser. Oh, my. The hits just keep on coming. Hershiser and Los Angeles doesn't want to really get anybody warmed up in the bullpen yet, but they want to see him get out of it. But right now, nobody out still, and the Marlins have racked off 5 straight hits. Top of the batting order, here's Carr. Here's the pitch to Carr. Carr got a base hit his last time up. And that is a 9. That's in play, 47. This one's going to be popped up to short. Coming under this one will be Jose Offerman. And he will make the catch. And that's the first out. And Orel Hershiser kind of wiped some sweat off his brow, saying, finally, I got an out. As this team was just hitting me crazy. Here's Jerry Brown. He grounded out to a fielder's choice his last time up. Here's the pitch. That's a 6. That's a patient 31, and Jerry Brown is going to draw a base on balls. That's a walk. That's a walk, and the bases will be loaded. So Orel Hershiser now is in real trouble. And now the batter is Gary Sheffield. And I think if Sheffield goes ahead and hits this, gets more runs in, that really could be it for Hershiser. And I was expecting a better showing from Hershiser in this matchup, but he is just not into it right now. The Marlins already have 3 runs in, 1 out. They will still play the infield back and try to get the double play. So here's Gary Sheffield, flew out his last time up. And here's the pitch. And that's an 11. That's wheelhouse 79. Again, Sheffield's just going to miss it. It's going to be a ground ball to short. So let's see what happens. His double play rating is a 6. Hershiser's double play rating a 9. It's 11. It's going to be an out at first base, but the runners will advance on a fielder's choice, but runners advance with an 11. So Abbott does score. And Hough moves to second. Hough moves to third, and Brown goes to second. But Abbott does come in to score, and it's now 4-0 Marlins. But 2 outs. And the batter will be Orestes Destrada. First base is open, but they'll pitch to him. Destrada really should not be much of a major threat, but anything was going with Hershiser right now is just not cutting it. But already a 4-0 Marlins lead here against the Dodgers. So Destrada, he popped out his last time up. So here's the pitch from Hershiser to Destrada, and that's a 4. That's a ballpark 98. That's going to be in play. It's a 25, and that one is going to be popped up again. A 25 in play, popped up again. This one's the first base again. As coming over for it is going to be Eric Karros. It's the second straight time Destrada's popped out to first, and the inning is over. When your pitcher gets a base hit, that usually is not always great for anybody that's doing it. But the Marlins get themselves 4 runs on 5 hits. No errors. We go to the bottom half of inning number 2. It's already 4-0 Marlins. And that will bring up Hough. And Hough already with a very good, nice sizable lead, but we'll see how long that lasts. We know the Dodgers can score runs with this lineup. Bottom of the second inning, leading off for Los Angeles will be Eric Karros. Karros bats .266 with 10 home runs against righties in '94. And now the fans here in Dodger Stadium want to see if he can get some runs back. Here's the pitch from Hough. And that is going to be a 5. It's a patient, and that's going to be ball 4. Orel Hershiser draws the walk. A steal rating of 3, jump rating of 3. That's a 5 on the dice. He will not go. And here's Tim Wallach. Tim Wallach at 37 years old, .281 average, 15 homers against righties. He may have been 37, but he was actually having a very strong season. Nothing wrong with that average at 37 years old. Nothing wrong with that. So Karros on it first. Just starting here at the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. And that is a 9. That's an in-play, 56. And that's going to be a fly ball to right. Getting under that will be Sheffield. He makes the catch for the first out. And that next batter will be Henry Rodriguez. A lot of people thought Henry Rodriguez was going to be the next big thing. I remember lots of stories about him. He could hit. He could hit for average. He was actually a pretty good fielder. And then for some reason, he really didn't turn out to be what I think a lot of fans expected, I guess. I really don't know. I don't know. Henry Rodriguez is kind of like the one that you thought was going to be great and just didn't turn out to be. He batted .264 with 6 home runs against righties. Karros still on first. There's the pitch from Hough. And that is a 7. That's a patient. That's a 65. And that's a ground ball to short. Rodriguez's double play rating is an 8. Hough's is a 7. It's a 7 on the board. They will turn 2. Throws to second. Back to first for 2. Charlie Hough gets out of the inning with a double play. So right now, everything seems to be going good for the Marlins, and nothing is going good for the Dodgers. And nothing there for LA. And it's still 4-0 Marlins. We go to the top of the third. They're going to stay with Hershiser at least a while longer here. Hershiser has yet to record a strikeout, and he averaged about 5 of them per game. To start the top of the third inning, here's Conine. And actually, with Estrada actually popping out, the Marlins did bat around that inning. So they batted around. So here's Conine. Conine doubled his last time up. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 9. That's an in play, a 29. And Conine's going to get himself another base hit. He hits that one down the line to right. And that's going to be picked up by Mondesi. He'll throw that in. And Conine has his second hit of the game. That's a single. And I did not get the batter's faced thing in there, so give me one moment. For Hough, it's going to be 7 times 3, 21, 24. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 21. So that's him. And Hershiser's health fatigue rating is an 8. 32. So 8 times 4, 32. So 30. So let's see here, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. And Hershiser can go to here. At least I think I have that right. Let me make sure. Yeah, times 4. Actually, Hough should be really here. Okay. All right. So I got the fatigue ratings. I didn't get that in there. So Conine on it first with the second hit of the game. Here's Brett Barbary. Barbary singled his last time up. I think if Hershiser allows one more run, it's going to be it for him. They're already in the third inning, down 4-0 in a game that really, if you're the Dodgers, you have no business losing to the Marlins. You've already lost to them twice in this series here in L.A. Here's the pitch from Hershiser. That is a 3. That's a defense, 37. And that is a range play to second base. So the ball is hit to Shields. His range is a B. It's a 32, 37 on the board. He will make the play. Let's see what it is. And that is a pop out. So Brett Barbary pops out to the Shields for out number 1. So a pop out to second. And that will bring up Santiago. Conine, of course, stays at first. Santiago singled his last time up. And Hershiser says, thank you very much for getting an out. I really need it. And here's the pitch. And it's a 5. That's going to be an in-play 90. And that's a ground ball to short. Let's see what happens. Santiago's double play rating's an 8. Hershiser a 9. 5 on the board. He'll get it. Nice play from short. Throws to second. Throws to first. Double play. And the Dodgers do not give up any runs in this inning. As Orel Hershiser escapes of maybe what could have been more disaster. But that is it there. No runs, but a base hit. We go to the bottom half of the third inning, and it's still 4-0 Marlins. And your favorite memory, BBG, is of Lasorda assaulting the Phillies mascot. Yes. Wasn't Tommy Lasorda great? Wasn't he just great? Really. There are so many great managers in baseball. There really were. But, it was so, Tommy Lasorda, I wish he was the manager of the Mets or any of my teams. Tommy Lasorda was just, he really was just great. Just totally, totally great. Bottom half of inning number 3. Here's Raul Mondesi. Mondesi batted .324 with 12 homers against right-handers. Raul Mondesi at 23 years old here in '94. This kid really had a good-looking future at this time. A lot of people really thought he was going to be the big thing for the Dodgers. So here's Charlie Hough. Here's the pitch. And that is a 5. That's a patient 68. A ground ball to second. Coming over is going to be Barbary. He throws to first. 1 out. That will bring up Jose Offerman. He batted .229 with a home run in '94. Against righties. Jose Offerman, I actually like the kid. I just don't think he really peaked to where he should have been. Jose Offerman should have been something special too. I liked him at shortstop for the Dodgers at that time. So Hough looking to get Offerman out now, as Hough is out pitching Orel Hershiser. Here's the pitch. And that is an 11. That's a defense. 07. That's going to be an error, I think, a play. Now, let's see what it is. It's an error. It's a ball hit to second base to Barbary. His defense rating is a 2. It's a 1/49, and that's going to be an error on Brett Barbary. Let's see what kind of error it is. And it's going to be a 2-base error. So Barbary picks it up, bobbles it, and then throws the ball away at first base. Offerman's going to wind up at second on the error. That's a 2-base error on Barbary. So that is an E4. And I give the Marlins an error on that. So Offerman on at second base as Barbary threw the ball into the dugout. And that brings up the pitcher, Orel Hershiser, who's already off to a hard start. And I think, but his hitting, now Hershiser can bat. He uses hitting card number 10. And they're going to let him swing, see if they can get a few more. I just don't think the Dodgers want to go to their bullpen yet, and it's still early. So Hershiser will bat. Offerman on at second. Here's the pitch. And that is a wheelhouse by Charlie Hough, but an 87 is going to be a ground ball to shortstop. Offerman's run rating is a 7. Offerman will hold it first. The throw goes to first. Hold it second. The throw goes to first in time for the second out. Offerman has to hold. And now 2 down for DeShields. DeShields grounded out his last time up. Offerman on at second. Charlie Hough trying to get out of his little jam. 4-0 lead already, Marlins. Here's the pitch to DeShields. That's going to be a 3. That's an in-play 26. And DeShields is going to get a base hit. That's a single. He hits this one into center field. Offerman with a run rating of 7 on 2 outs will score automatically. And the Dodgers are on the board. It's 4-1 on a base hit by Delino DeShields. So the fans here finally got something to cheer about. As now it's a 4-1 game. DeShields a steal rating of 6. His jump rating is a B. But because of the arm, it would be a B2. He would have a normal chance of stealing, and I think you're down by 3 runs. You're not going to, and you're going to let Brett Butler swing away. So 2 outs. Here's Butler. Butler grounded out his last time up. Now Charlie Hough has already given up the run. We'll see what he can do here to try to end the inning. Here's the pitch. That's a 5. That's a patient 67. And that is a base hit by Brett Butler. It's a single. Grounder up the middle to center field. Delino DeShields with a run rating of 7 will automatically go to third. And now the Dodgers are in business. Big hit for Brett Butler. As I said, this game can change either way with these 2 pitchers. And the batter is Piazza. Piazza flew out his last time up. 2 outs. DeShields now on third. Butler on at first. I really didn't need to draw the card because it really doesn't matter in this case. It was automatically a single, and the runner advances 2 bases. Runners in the corners, but 2 outs. Mike Piazza looking to smack one. Hough being careful. We'll see what he throws him. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a wheelhouse 89, but no, it's going to be a ground ball to short. He chops it right to Abbott. He takes it, throws to second, and the side is retired. A wheelhouse, but an 89 will not cut it. As that is a grounder to short. And a pump fist by Charlie Hough as he gets out the inning. But the Dodgers get a run on 2 hits and an error. Three innings in the books. It's the Marlins 4 and the Dodgers 1. And I'll be back in 1 moment, people. Commercial break. We go to the top of the fourth inning here, welcoming you back here to Dodger Stadium, where we have the Marlins leading the Dodgers 4-1. My schedule is already up tomorrow, and tomorrow we have the Kansas City Royals versus the New York Yankees. The Royals coming off a huge win last night and quite kind of dramatic, but now they got to go on the road to Yankee Stadium to play a big series against the Yankees, who still lead the American League East, but Baltimore is still behind them by several games. So it's still an important game. So tomorrow, the Royals and the Yankees, tomorrow night at about, I'd say 8 or something like that for tomorrow night's stream. So Royals at Yankees tomorrow night. Look forward to that one because I have a funny feeling, that game's going to be crazy. And I'll tell you, I really wanted to get some more other teams list into this, to be shown, because I want to show every team in the '94 season at least once. And we will see the Mets, we'll see the Indians, we'll see the Angels, we'll see the Brewers, the Athletics, but a couple of big games between the Royals and the Yankees and the White Sox and Orioles just have to be played. And then when September rolls around, I'll probably only be playing the biggest games of that month, because and of course I go American League, National League, American League, National League. So we'll only be playing the biggest games of the month as we get through towards the playoffs. We go to the top of the fourth inning here, 4-1 Marlins. Leading off for Florida will be Kurt Abbott, and he singled his last time up. He's 1 for 1. Orel Hershiser still on the mound, but Lasorda has him on a short leash. Here's the pitch. That is a 7. That's a tough 13, and he struck him out. Orel Hershiser gets his first strikeout of the game. It took him to the fourth inning to do that. 1 out. Here's the pitcher, Charlie Hough, using hitting card number 3. And Hough actually got a base hit off of Hershiser last time. 46-year-old man. Here's the pitch. That's a 7. That's a tough 15, and that is also a strikeout for Hershiser. 2 down now. Now maybe Hershiser, he settled down. Kind of like what happened last night with Gordon with the Royals. But we won't talk about that. I've already scheduled therapy tomorrow. Here's Carr. Carr singled and popped out. He's 1 for 2. Hershiser sets up, trying to get a nice 1-2-3 inning. The pitch to Carr. That's a 9. That's an in-play 91, and he will get that. A fly ball to left field. Coming over for it is Rodriguez. He will make the catch. And the inning is over, 1-2-3. And the fans give Orel Hershiser a nice ovation for a good job in this inning. And that's what Los Angeles definitely needed. Bears Den 007 has arrived. Welcome to Dodger Stadium. You've already missed some fireworks as Orel Hershiser got racked early, but looks like maybe he settled down. Bottom of the fourth inning, Florida leads the Dodgers 4-1. Hough back on the mound. But he got out of a good jam the last time. Here's Eric Karros. Karros walked his last time up. Here's the pitch. And we got a 5. That's going to be a patient in 06. And Karros, that's going to be ball 4. Hough walks Karros. And that's the second time he's been walked. So he still does not have an official at bat. He goes to first. The steal rating's a 3, but the dice is a 5. He will not run. And that will bring up Wallach. Wallach flew out his last time up. He's 0 for 2. Derek Dodgers, Royals fan. Oh, so there's still 10 innings to go. LOL. Very funny. Yeah. If you watch, I don't know if you saw, Royals fan, did you watch that game I did last night? I believe you did. Your Dodgers are down 4-1, but we got lots of baseball left to play. There's the pitch to Wallach from Hough. And that is a 6. That's a tough. It's a 60. And Tim Wallach is going to get a base hit. It's a single. That is a long single into the gap to center field. Eric Karros will advance 1 base, and he will hold there as runners advance a base. And now Charlie Hough in some danger with nobody out and runners at first and second. Florida has nobody warming up the bullpen yet. Late arriving Dodger Stadium. It's about right. Yeah, there we go, STM. You let him have it here. You let him have it, you Tom Mike. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Here's Rodriguez. He is grounded out his last time up. This game, as I keep on said all day long, it means more important to the Dodgers and the Marlins. The Dodgers are now at 500, 3.5 games ahead of San Francisco in the National League West. Here's the pitch. That's an 11. That's a defense. A 15. That's going to be an error charge to Hough, a possible error to Hough. His range, Hough's rating, his error rating is a 5, and he will not make the play. He bobbles it. That's going to be an error on Charlie Hough. And that is a 1-base error, and the bases will be loaded for the Dodgers. As Hough couldn't handle it, as it bounced off his glove, and he turned around looking for it. The ball was at his feet. By the time he found where the ball was, everybody already advanced station to station. And that is the second error on the Marlins. They have 2 errors. An E1. And now a chance for the Dodgers to break it open with Raul Mondesi. Florida will play the infield back, playing for the double play with nobody out. Marlins are actually off to a great start since the restart began. As the Marlins have a record of 6-2 since the restart. So they're actually playing pretty well. But now, let's see what happens here. Nobody out, bases juiced. Here's the pitch to Mondesi. That's a 4. That's a tough 0-1. He struck him out. Charlie Hough strikes out Mondesi, a humongous strikeout. 1 out. Oh, and Mondesi goes back to the dugout, knows he's pissed off. Huge K on Mondesi. The bases are still loaded. Here's Offerman. And Offerman got on base with an E4. Here's an error. He got on base on an error. So here's 1 out. The infield is still playing for double play. Bases loaded. Big chance here for the boys in blue. Here's the pitch to Offerman. It's a 4. It's a tough. It's a 27. Strikeout. Unbelievable. Charlie Hough strikes out Offerman. A 27 on a tough. It's a 1-29 on a right-handed pitcher. Offerman swings and misses at strike 3, 2 outs. Now what do you do here? Hershiser's the next batter, and although he's only pitched 4 innings and you got bases loaded, you need to get some runs. And I think that's going to be it for Hershiser. He will come out. They will pinch hit. That is it for Hershiser, as they got to get the runs in. So they were already warming up, and we'll see who they bring in to go up against Charlie Hough. Not much on the not much really on the bench, but they're going to do Rafael Bornegal. So that's it for Hershiser, and Rafael Bornegal will come on and pinch hit for the Dodgers. Batted .257, no homers against right-handers. Here was the issue with the Dodgers. The Dodgers had they did not have a very good bullpen. Yeah, here comes our JL pinch hitter. They did not have a very good bullpen in 1994. It was not good. That's one of the reasons why the Dodgers were not dominant. Their bullpen was weak, and their bench wasn't that great either. And just to let you know, Steeler fan, there is no home runs on Bornegal's wheelhouse. So there will not be a home run here. But a base hit is very possible, because that's what usually happens. 2 outs. Charlie Hough pitching to Bornegal. Bases loaded, 2 outs here. Bottom of the 4th inning. A very important at bat for LA. Here's the pitch. It's an 8. It's a ballpark. It's 87. It's going to be an in play. And it's a 50. And that is going to be a fly ball to right field. Getting under that one is Gary Sheffield. He will get there. He makes the catch, and the Dodgers leave him loaded. Oh, my. no runs on one hit and an error as the Dodgers leave the bases loaded. .997. At the end of 4, it is still a 4-1 Marlins lead. And Dodger fans know that one is might cost them. That is a tough miss there. Timeout. Uh, 6 plus 3 is 9. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Marlins leading 4-1. The new pitcher for the Dodgers is going to be Ismael Valdez. 3 wins, 1 loss, a 3.18 ERA. He averages about 9 strikeouts per 9 innings, 3.2 walks, and a little less than a homer. He has short fatigue, but according to the batters faced, he will have 9 batters before he will get fatigued. So if Ismael Valdez pitches well, he could pitch easily into the 7th if possible. So Ismael Valdez, the new Dodger pitcher. And leading off for the Marlins will be Jerry Brown. Brown has been on base twice, a fielder's choice and a walk. So here's the pitch from Valdez, and that is a 6. That's an 85, and that's a ground ball hit right to short. Coming over there is Offerman. He's got it, throws to first for the first out. And that will bring up Sheffield. Sheffield 0 for 2. Marlins dugout right now pretty high on the horse, playing very good baseball lately, and now a good chance to sweep the Dodgers, which could really hurt LA. Here's the pitch to Sheffield from Valdez. That's a 10. That's a tough 52, and that one is going to be a fly ball hit to a lazy fly ball to right. Coming under that is going to be Mondesi. He will make the catch for the second out. Here's Destrada. He's popped out to first twice. He's 0 for 2. And right now, Eric Karros waiting for another one to come his way. Here's the pitch. That's an 8. That's a patient, a 93. And Destrada does hit a fly ball, but at least a little further this time. He hits this one to left. Coming under this one is going to be Rodriguez. He will settle under it. He writes a little love letter to his wife, puts it away, puts out his glove, blop, and the ball falls into it. 1-2-3 inning for Valdez, something the Dodgers needed. We go to the bottom half of inning number 5, still 4-1 Florida. Here's Hough. Hough has been getting away with a lot. Ballpark, wheelhouse, and such, and he has been getting away with it. It is the top of the batting order for the Dodgers, and it's DeShields. DeShields singled his last time up, but was stranded at third. Charlie Hough at 46, right now pitching a one-hitter, not bad. The Marlins do have the bullpen getting ready to go, but not quite yet. Here's the pitch. That's an 11. That's going to be a defense, a 76, and it's an error chance to third base. The ball is hit to Jerry Brown. Brown's error rating is a 1, and he will, 76, he will make the play. Nice play by Brown. He grabs it, pumps once, throws to first, and gets out the speedy DeShields by about a step. 1 out. Nice play by Jerry Brown. That will bring up Butler. Butler singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that is a tough. It's actually in Hough's wild pitch rating, but there's nobody on base, so you don't worry about it. So it is a 6. It's a tough. It's a 31. And Butler's going to belt this one clean down the left field line. That's going to roll all the way into the deepest corner of Dodger Stadium. He guns around second. He's going to try for third. The throw comes in. Butler slides, and he is safe with a triple. A 31 is the only way he gets a triple on a tough. And he does roll it. He gets it. And the Dodgers have a man at scoring position. And still 1 out. Second hit for Butler as he gets himself a triple. And the batter is Mike Piazza. Marlins will play the infield normal, conceding the run, try to get the out. But Piazza, of course, we know what he's very dangerous. But he's 0 for 2 so far in today's game. Here's the pitch. And that is a 9. That's going to be an in-play 45. And he pops it up. He pops it to second base. Barbary calling for it. Infield fly rule. 2 outs. Butler can't move. What a tough hit by Piazza. As Hough actually threw the ball letter high, Piazza got under it and popped it up in the infield. Hough is getting some great plays. And here's Karros. Karros is still looking for his first official at bat. He's walked twice. Big pop out. So 2 outs now. We'll see what Hough does here. Here's the pitch. It's a 5. It's a patient. It's a 39. And Eric Karros will get the single this time. He hits this one into right field. Butler will score. Karros holds it first, and it's now 4 to 2. The fans finally have something to cheer about there. As Eric Karros comes through with a big base hit. And now it's a 4 to 2 ball game. Karros on at first, cannot get the jump on a steal, does not have the lead, I should say. And the batter now is Wallach. Wallach singled his last time up. He is 1 for 2. So here's the pitch to Wallach. Karros on at first. Oh, Kitchko got the win by TKO. That's awesome. That's awesome. That was a quick fight. Dang. So here's Wallach on it. Wallach ready to go. Here's the pitch from Hough. And that's a 3. That's an in-play, a 36. And that is a ground ball right back to Charlie Hough. He gets it. He throws to first, and the inning is done. Charlie Hough has actually he has an error, but he actually made some other pretty decent plays besides the error. But that ends the inning. Nice play by Hough. But the Dodgers get 1 run on 2 hits. We still have ourselves a ball game at the end of 5. It's 4-2 Fish. We go to the top of the 6th. Here's Valdez to pitch for LA. And leading off for Florida will be Conine. He's 2 for 2. Doubled and singled. Ismael Valdez gets the sign in from Piazza. Here's the pitch to Conine. That's going to be a 3. It's an in-play 55, and that is a ground ball hit right to third. Coming up for it is Wallach. He throws to first, and we got 1 out. Here's Barbary. Barbary is 1 for 2. Singleton flew out. Actually, Singleton popped out, really. So here's the pitch from Valdez. That's a 5. That's a tough, a 49. And Barbary's going to smack this one into right field for a base hit. It's going to be Mondesi throwing it in. But Barbary has himself a single, and that is his second hit of the game. He holds it first. He does not have the lead. And with 1 out, the batter is Benito Santiago. And Barbary's steal rating is an A. And we already know that... And we know that Piazza's arm is a 4. So that would be an A4. So Barbary has an excellent chance to steal. He did not get the lead. But the thing about it, when you try hit and run, it's an F1 no matter what. Barbary's run rating's a 6. They're not going to try it. Santiago is going to hit away. So 1 out, Barbary on it first. There's the pitch to Santiago. That's a 5. That's a tough. That's a 10. And that is a swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 down. Big strikeout by Valdez. And the batter will be Kurt Abbott. Abbott 1 for 2. Singleton struck out. The Marlins have already knocked out Hershiser. Ismael Valdez is already pitching here in the 6th inning. But 4-2, Barbary on it first, Abbott the batter. Barbary cannot get the lead, so here's the pitch to Abbott with 2 outs. And that is fouled away, strike 1. They'll do it again. Pitch from Valdez. That is a 9. That's a tough. That's a 65. And Kurt Abbott will go down on strikes, swing and a miss at a high fastball. And the side is retired. So far, Ismael Valdez has come in and done the job and has kept the Marlins at bay. And the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Marlins 4, Dodgers 2. Hough is scheduled to bat in the 7th, and they're going to see if they can get Charlie Hough to pitch for Florida 1 more inning in the bottom of the 6th. No runs and a hit for the Marlins in that inning. And here's Henry Rodriguez. Rodriguez got on base via error and grounded out. Here's the pitch to Henry. And that is an 11. That's a defense. That's a 60. Getting a lot of defense rolls today. That's an error chance to the shortstop. The ball is hit to Abbott. His error rating is a 2, a 1-49. The roll is a 60. Abbott makes a great diving stab. Gets up, throws to first, and gets out Henry Rodriguez. 1 down. Some big plays being made in the infield. Great play by Kurt Abbott. Lots of defense plays. I remember saying that that there are not that many errors and there are not that many defense checks and all that stuff. How many defense checks have I had today? About what? 6, 7, and already 2 errors. Sometimes say, oh, there's not enough errors. Ball players really don't make that many of them. They really don't make that many errors. Yeah, you have that occasional game where you have 4 errors, 3 errors, but that is a rare thing. And usually only if the weather is bad. Here's Raul Mondesi. Mondesi is 0 for 2. Here's the pitch from Hough. Got a great help from the infield. That's a 4. That's a tough. That's a 79. And that's a fly ball straight away center field. Chuck Carr is going to I think he's going to make his first play. He does. Makes the catch. 2 outs. First time Chuck Carr's had to do anything out there in center. Marlins playing some pretty good ball. And here's Jose Offerman. Offerman got on base on an E4 and struck out. Hough gets to the sign. This will probably, if he gets out of this inning, this will be it for him, as the Marlins are going to go to the bullpen after this. So 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Offerman. That's a 6. That's a tough. It's an 86, and that's a grounder to short. Abbott will get it, collects it, throws to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Charlie Hough, as he really has pitched very well. Side retired. And the Dodger fans are saying, geez, 46 years old, this guy's shutting us down. At the end of 6, it's still 4-2 Marlins. And I'm going to take Charlie Hough off if he is going to be done for the game. And they'll bring in a pinch hitter to go up against Ismael Valdez. They're going to go to the bullpen, as I think you should, to go to the top of the 7th inning. Remember, we got the 10-minute ticker coming up. We'll see how the other teams do. Let's see who the pinch hitter is going to be against Valdez. He's a righty. And that pinch hitter is going to be Dave Magadan. Magadan will pinch hit. He bats .278 with a homer against righties. Now, a question was asked to me by one of my subs and asked, am I using the actual 25-man rosters for the games? I answered very clearly, I can't have a 25-man roster for games that were not played. And he laughed. And that's true. This is not a replay. These are not replays, these are restarts. And of course, I have Out of the Park Baseball and Action PC Baseball. All you have to do for Action PC Baseball is just load up the season, just click on the date you want to do, and it will bring up the 25 player for each team that you choose to use. It will bring up it'll bring up the roster for the team on that day. So Action PC Baseball allows you to do that, and I have all the seasons for Action PC, and Out of the Park Baseball allow you to do that as well. Although I prefer Action Action PC Baseball for replays because, first of all, the game is faster. Okay, it installs seasons a lot faster. You want to install a season for Out of the Park, it actually takes a little time because they're installing a whole bunch of other stuff as well. I love Out of the Park Baseball for management. If I want to take my Mets and play 20 years in the future, the game is perfect. If I want to do a career replay, like start with the Mets at 62 and move forward, it's great. But if I just want to replay one season, I'd rather use Action PC Baseball. So here's Dave Magadan for Florida, top of the 7th inning. So if some of these rosters are not totally correct, unfortunately, it's really not my fault. And I can't just go with the rosters. I mean, you could just take what the rosters were at the end of it, but it doesn't matter. So here's Magadan getting his shot against Valdez. Here's the pitch. It's an 8. That's a patient. It's an 0-8, and Dave Magadan is going to draw a ball for a walk. A walk by Magadan. How about that? Every time I bring in a pinch hitter, I usually get somebody big. Something happens, and Dave Magadan will go to first on a walk. Top of the batting order for Florida, here's Carr. Carr is 1 for 3. So Magadan on it first. And here's the pitch. And that is an 8. That's also a patient of 41. Chuck Carr's going to get a base hit off of Ismael Valdez. That is a single. Sharp liner drops in front of left field. Runner on first advances a base. He'll hold it second. And the Marlins are in business. Nobody out and 2 men on. And Valdez has reached his point of weakness. So the next base runner he gets on will be fatigued. But he will pitch to Jerry Brown. Brown is 0 for 2. a fielder's choice and a ground out, and he walked. So runners at first and second, nobody out here, top of the 7th inning, and now the Marlins have a chance to get some runs on the board. Here's the pitch to Brown, and that is a 3. That's going to be in play, 12, and that's going to be a single for Jerry Brown. A sharp liner drops in front of left field. Runner on first advances 1 base. Runner on second scores, and the Marlins are up 5-2. Big hit by Brown as Magadan comes in. Put him back in the park there. And now a 5-2 Marlins lead, and that'll do it for Valdez. The next batter for the Marlins is Gary Sheffield. And coming on to pitch for Los Angeles will be Omar Dahl. Or Dayal. I'm not sure how his name is pronounced, but Omar Dayal or Omar Dahl. But he will pitch for the Dodgers, a lefty. No record, but a 3.29 ERA. He has a short fatigue. So it's going to be 6 + 2 is 8. As he'll take over there. And still, nobody out here in the top of the 7th. It's now 5-2 Marlins. And here's Sheffield. Sheffield's 0 for 3. So he'll go up against Omar Dahl. He bats .212 with 8 homers against lefties. So here's the pitch from Dahl. That's an 11. That's ballpark 52. That's going to be in play. The card is an 80, and that is going to be a ground ball to short. It's a ground ball to shortstop. It's an 11. The only play he has is to first base, as Carr will go to third, Brown will go to second, and there's 1 out. Sheffield's out. That was the only play he had. It was a slow grounder to short, and his only play was to first, and the runners move up. One man down, and the batter is Destrada. Destrada's 0 for 3. Infield is going to play in. They cannot have any more runs. We're in the 7th inning. And I'll get my infield in chart ready just in case. And here's the pitch. And that is a 4. That's a tough. It's a 14. And that is a strikeout on Orestes Destrada. 2 outs. Big strikeout by Dahl. And the batter now is Jeff Conine. And Conine's had a good day today. He's 2 for 3. First base is open. He bats .316 with 6 homers against lefties. And if you walk him, you can pitch to Barbary, but Barbary bats .319, but with no homers against lefties. And I think if you're the Dodgers, I think you probably put him on and load the bases. You have a play at any base. And that's what the Dodgers are going to do. They're going to intentionally walk Conine, load the bases, and they'll pitch to Brett Barbary instead. Barbary's also had a good night today, too. He's 2 for 3, 2 singles. Dahl is pronounced like Dahl. Thank you, Steeler fan. I wasn't sure. Bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the 7th. Marlins 5, Dodgers 2. Bases loaded. Omar Dahl trying to get out of the inning. Infield playing normal. Play at any base. Here's the pitch to Barbary. It's an 8. It's a patient. It's a 97. He will get out of it. It's a fly ball to left field. Coming under that will be Henry Rodriguez. He makes the catch, and Los Angeles escapes with only minimal damage. But the Marlins do get a run on 2 hits and a walk. We are at the 7th inning stretch. It's Marlins 5, Dodgers 2. So go ahead, guys, and sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" as it's 7th inning stretch time. Be right back. We welcome you back here to Dodger Stadium. The Marlins lead the Dodgers 5-2 as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. But before we do that, it's time for the 10-minute ticker. So let's see how these teams are going to go today on this Sunday, August 21. So here we go. Let's see how the rest of the league is going to go here. First up is Baltimore at Kansas City. We'll see if Baltimore recovers from last night's game. So here we go. Here comes the 10-minute ticker. First up, Baltimore at Kansas City. Baltimore is an A, and Kansas City is an A, and it is a 5. And Baltimore does win this one. So Baltimore comes back and beats Kansas City. California, Minnesota. California is an F. Minnesota is a C. And that is a 4 for California. And they are going to get the win in that game over Minnesota by a score of 5-3. So California wins a nice game on the road. Chicago White Sox and Toronto Blue Jays. The White Sox are an A, and Toronto is a C. That is a 7, and that is a win for the White Sox. They beat Chicago. They beat Toronto 9-3. So far, 3 visiting teams have come away with the victory. Detroit is at the Boston Red Sox. Detroit is a C, and Boston's a C. And that is a 7 for Detroit against the C, and that is a win for the Boston Red Sox. So the fans at Fenway get themselves a nice win. The New York Yankees take on the Rangers. The Yankees are an A, and the Rangers are a D. And that is a 5. And against the D, the Yankees do get the win. The Yankees win. So they get a win there, as Baltimore can't catch up. Here's Oakland and Milwaukee. Milwaukee. Oakland is a D, and Milwaukee is a C. So let's see what happens here. That is a 4 for Oakland as they take on a C, and that is a win. The Athletics get a win to stay up there and they will gain a game on the Texas Rangers with that victory. Seattle takes on Cleveland. Seattle is a D, Cleveland's an A. That is an 8. Seattle's the visiting team, so it's a D. They take on an A, and that is a win for the Indians. Cleveland does get the win. The better team does win this game. Now we go to the National League. Florida, Los Angeles playing right now. Montreal at Houston. So let's see what happens in this key series that was going on. Montreal and Houston are both A's. And that is a 9 for Montreal A, and that is a 9, and that is a victory for the Astros. Houston comes away with the win there. They come away with the win. They win that game 7-4, so a big win for Houston as they get a game on, as they win a game on get a game there. Houston not in the same division, of course, but that's a big win for Houston. Philadelphia, Colorado. Philadelphia is they are a C, and Colorado is a D. And that is a 10 for Philadelphia as they take on a D for Colorado, and a 10 gets them the win. Win there for Colorado. I'm sorry, wrong. My bad. That's a win for Philadelphia. Wait, let me do that. Let's double check. Make it right. Philadelphia, Colorado. Philadelphia is a C. Colorado is a D. So I got to come across here. And no, that's a win for that is a win for Colorado. That's why I asked him to do these charts a little bit better before he made them official. He needs to bring these grades over to here and put these in alphabetical order. I asked Joe to do so. If he does, I don't know. Up to him. Pittsburgh at San Francisco. Pirates are a C, and the Giants are a C. And this is a very important game for the Giants. That is an 8 for Pittsburgh. And that is a win for the Giants. So San Francisco, if the Dodgers lose today, they will gain a game on the Dodgers. San Diego and Atlanta. Braves still they're shooting for a wild card as well. San Diego is an F. Atlanta is I believe they are an A. They are. So we use this one. That is an 8, and that is a win for the Braves. Braves get the win. St. Louis at Cincinnati. Cardinals are a C, and the Reds are an A. So we have to do here. And that is a 5, and that is a win for the Cardinals. The Cardinals get the win on Cincinnati. Wait a minute. My bad. Wait a second. Hold the phone. Let me double check something here. He's got these reversed. That's a problem. Or FWDC. I got to be careful here. So that's a 5. St. Louis is a C. Cincinnati was an A. I got to go to here, and the number is a 5. Now, St. Louis does win. They beat the Reds. Big win for the Cardinals. Finally, the Cubs and my Mets. See if the Mets can get a game here. Chicago's a D, and the Mets are a C. So Cubs, it's right here. And that is a 9, and that is a win for my Mets, as my New York Mets come away with a nice little win at home against the Cubs. And that will do it. And standings for the week will be posted tonight, as you'll see them. And that is it. And yes, Houston moves a game further ahead of the Reds. So that's our 10-minute ticker as our 7th inning stretch comes to a close. And now the Dodgers know with the Giants winning, they need to win this game to stay ahead of them by 3.5. So we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning, 5-2 Marlins. Omar Dahl has to come out because he was the next bat. The pitcher was due to bat. The new pitcher for the Marlins will be Jeremy Hernandez. 3 wins, 3 losses, a 2.7 ERA. Florida's bullpen was not bad. They actually had a pretty good bullpen. So Hernandez will come in and pitch at a good bullpen. But Los Angeles will bring in a pinch hitter. And there's not much really on the bench they can go to. They're going to go with Chris Gwynn. He will pinch hit for the Dodgers. Chris Gwynn, 258 average, 3 homers against right-handers. So Chris Gwynn pitch hits for LA. So Jeremy Hernandez, now the Marlins pitchers. We start the bottom of the 7th. 5-2 Marlins. And his fatigue is a 5, and he's a short pitcher, so it's 5. So 5 is 11, actually. So he can go for a while here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This fatigue rating will be here. And this is crossed off. So here's Chris Gwynn. Bottom of the 7th inning. Here we go. Pitch from Hernandez. That's a 10. That's going to be an in play, but a 47 is going to be a grounder to third. Coming over there is going to be Jerry Brown. He throws to first, and we got the first out. One man down at the top of the batting order for LA in Delino DeShields. DeShields is 1 for 3. Here's the pitch to DeShields. And that is a 5. That's a patient 0-9, and that's going to be ball 4. DeShields will draw the walk to first. Steal rating's a 6. He does have the lead if he wants to go, but you're down by 3 runs. I just don't think you're stealing. But it is a base on balls. And his steal rating's a B against Santiago's 2. And a B2 would be a normal. I just don't think DeShields runs. 1 out. Now a runner on first. The batter will be Brett Butler. He'll come up to bat. Butler tripled his last time up. And singled. He's 2 for 3. So Butler having a pretty decent game. Here's the pitch from Hernandez. That's a 7. That's going to be an in-play 41, and it's a ground ball to first. Butler's double play rating is a 5. Hernandez is an 8. The only play is to second. It was a slow rolling grounder. They get the lead runner at second base. DeShields is out. Butler is safe, but now there are 2 down on the fielder's choice. And that will bring up Piazza. Piazza is 0 for 3 today. 2 men down. The pitch to Piazza. And that is a 10. That's an in play, but a 60 is going to be a fly ball to right field. Coming under this one is Gary Sheffield. He will make the catch, and a base runner will be stranded as the Dodgers continue to be stymied by right now this very tough Florida team. Side retired. Renee Locheman, manager of Florida, looks like he's doing pretty good out there. 7 in the book, still 5-2 Marlins. We go to the top of the 8th inning. The Marlins have Benito Santiago leading off. And coming on to pitch for the Dodgers, and I'll tell you, this is where their bullpen starts having issues. They're going to bring in, this is where their bullpen comes into issues here. Geez, not much choice. What are we in the 7th, top of the 8th inning? They're going to bring in Todd Worrell to try to get the win. He's their closer, but they're going to try to get him in there, see if he can get a win. Todd Worrell, 6 wins, 5 losses, 4.29 ERA, 11 saves, but they're going to ask Worrell to try to get maybe to at least keep the Marlins at bay. Worrell's is going to be a 7, so 1, 2. His batter's face will be there. So Todd Worrell will now pitch for the Dodgers here in the top of the 8th inning. Here's Benito Santiago. Santiago is 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. It's a 3. It's an in-play 51, and that's a ground ball to third. Coming over for it is Tim Wallach. He throws to first, and we got 1 out. One down, and the batter will be Kurt Abbott. Kurt Abbott is 1 for 3, struck out twice and singled. Here's the pitch, and that is an 11. That's wheelhouse 56, and that is a hard hit ball, but right to third, chopped to third base, as a matter of fact. And Wallach's going to make another play. He has it, throws to first, and there are 2 outs. And now due up is the pitcher, Jeremy Hernandez. And they're going to see a pinch hitter for him. So Hernandez will not pitch the inning. They'll probably go for him they're going to let, it'll be Jeremy Hernandez will not pitch this inning. So we'll see a pinch hitter for the Marlins as Hernandez will be done. Against Worrell, the pinch hitter for Florida will be Mario Diaz. Mario Diaz, 286, no homers against righties in 1994. He will go up against Worrell with 2 outs as a pinch hitter, as the Florida bullpen continues to be strong. Here's the pitch to Diaz from Worrell, and that is a 4. That's a tough. It's a 50. It's a 53, and that one's a ground ball again to Wallach. He's been busy today. He has it. He throws to first again, and it's a 1-2-3 inning as Tim Wallach makes every single out. And the inning is done. So nothing across for the Marlins in the 8th. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Marlins have to bring out a new pitcher. And it's going to be Terry Matthews. No, it's not going to be Terry Matthews. I'm sorry. They're going to ask 6. They're going to try to get 6 innings out of him. It's going to be Rob Nen. No. Terry Matthews. Terry Matthews will pitch the 8th as a setup. Rob Nen can be used for the 9th. Sometimes you can't make up your mind. Matthews will pitch for Florida. 2 wins, 1 loss, a 3.35 ERA. In the bottom of the 8th inning for the Dodgers, here's Eric Karros. Karros is 1 for 1, but he's walked twice. He's been on base all 3 times in this game. So Terry Matthews will come out and pitch the 8th inning. Robbie Nen is warming up in the bullpen for the 9th if necessary. Here's the pitch. And that is a 7. That's a tough. It's a 67. And that's a ground ball to second. Coming over there is going to be Barbary. He picks it up, throws to first, and that is out number 1. Here's Wallach. Wallach is 1 for 3. Flew out, grounded out, and singled. Fans here at Dodger Stadium getting very nervous. They really would like to get a win here against the Marlins, especially they just flashed on the scoreboard that the Giants did win. Here's the pitch. That's a 7. That's a tough. That's a 71. And that's a fly ball straight away center field. Chuck Carr is going to get to that one. And that's the second out. And now the batter is Rodriguez. Rodriguez is 0 for 2, but reached on an error, as the Marlins committed 2 errors today. Henry Rodriguez trying to keep the inning alive for LA. Here's the pitch from Matthews. That's a 5. That's a tough 49. He struck him out. Just got him. Swing and a miss. It was a foul tip, actually, caught by the catcher. Rodriguez's strikeout is a 1 to 49, and a 49 is what was rolled as a swing and a miss, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Terry Matthews. As nothing across for LA. 8 in the books. Still 5-2 Marlins. And you all know what that means now. We're going to the dreaded 9th inning. And we all know what happens in the 9th, don't we? Todd Worrell still pitching for the Dodgers. He has about 5 batters left before fatigue will set in, as Los Angeles will try to keep him out there as long as possible and try to win it in the bottom of the 9th inning. However, the Marlins will start with the top of the batting order in Carr. And Carr is 2 for 4. A rough day for Orel Hershiser. I was actually hoping for a better outing from him in this game. So top of the 9th. Here's the pitch from Morel to Carr. That's a 7. That's a patient 0-9. Ball 4. Chuck Carr will go to first. Leadoff man goes to first base. On a walk. And the batter will be Brown. And Chuck Carr is a 6. It's a 7 on the board. He does not get the lead. And there will not be a hit and run, as Jerry Brown will hit away. You're up by 3 runs. You want to get hits. Runner on first. Nobody out. Top of the 9th. 5-2 Marlins. Here's the pitch to Brown. Brown's actually had it. He singled his last time up. And that's a 4. That's a tough. It's a 67. And that one is a ground ball to second base. Let's see what happens. Double play rating is a 6. Worrell's is a 6. It's a 4. Gets the play. He tags second base, throws back to first. It's just going to be a 4-3 double play. 2 outs. What a great play by Delino DeShields as he does it all by himself. And Todd Worrell gives a little bit of a fist pump knowing how big that double play was. 2 down. That could have been something big for the Marlins. But now here's Gary Sheffield. Sheffield, however, has been quiet. He's 0 for 4. He's not done anything at all, except make some plays in the outfield when necessary. 2 outs. And here's the pitch from Morel. And that is a 4. That's a tough. It's an 8. And Sheffield swing and a miss. Strikeout. And the Dodgers fans give them a little bit of applause, knowing that they'll have a chance in the bottom of the ninth. On a big K by Todd Worrell, as he's done what was asked of him. Pitched 2 innings of scoreless ball. And the Marlins are going to leave Terry Matthews in to pitch the bottom of the ninth, but Robbie Nen is ready to go. Runner gets on, we'll see Robbie Nen. So Terry Matthews, who actually did not have any saves in 94. Now, that doesn't mean he couldn't get a save, and because this is an incomplete year, I can give him that chance if I want to, and he's going to get that chance. So here's Matthews going for a save. If it is a save situation, I think he got a batter in the hole, so I'm not sure. So it's not a safe situation yet. So we'll see what happens here. Nobody out. Leading off for the Dodgers is Raul Mondesi. And Mondesi is 0 for 3. I gotta warm up on my baseball rules. Bottom of the ninth. Marlins 5, Dodgers 2. Mondesi the batter. Matthews. Here's the pitch. It's a 4. It's an in play. It's a 60. And it's a fly ball to right. Coming over is Gary Sheffield. He will have plenty of room. Bites off a Slim Jim. Puts it in his mouth. Puts the glove out. Block. And the ball falls into it. 1 out. And the batter now will be Jose Offerman. Todd Worrell's not going to bat. The pitcher was due to bat 3rd in the inning, so that's going to be it for Orel no matter what. So I'll take him out of there. So here's Offerman. Offerman reached on an error, but he's also been quiet. He's 0 for 2. 1 down. The pitch from Matthews. It's a 7. It's a tough. It's an 82. A ground ball to short. Coming over is going to be Abbott. He gets it. Throws to first. 2 outs. And now the Dodgers are 1 out away from getting swept by the Marlins at home. Pitcher due up, but of course we'll see a pinch hitter. And it's going to be Gary Ingram. He will come up and bat. Gary Ingram bats .250 with 2 homers against righties. So Terry Matthews looking to close the game down. Is it possible we might actually have a game under 2 hours and a normal baseball game for once? Did I just jinx myself? Terry Matthews gets ready. Gary Ingram sets up in the batter's box. 2 outs. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. It's a 5. It's a tough. It's a 12. Swing and a miss. Ingram struck him out. And that's the ball game. As the Florida Marlins give the Dodgers another loss, they sweep LA in LA. As the Dodgers lose another one, they will fall under 500. They will go to 61 and 62. A big win for the Marlins as they continue to be hot, starting after the restart. They've only lost 2 games. And that does it. I'll give you the final line score here in a sec. One, 6, 7, 8, 10, 2, 2, 3, 5. Jeez. For the Marlins, 5 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. For the Dodgers, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The winning pitcher is Charlie Hough. He gets the win. Orel Hershiser gets the loss. I'm not sure if Terry Matthews gets a save because he did pitch 2 innings. But if he does, that's okay. If he doesn't, that's fine too. Because I'm not sure about the saves in that one, although he did pitch 2 innings. But that's it here. Yeah, a normal game at that, Steeler fan. Bleacher Bums Gaming, Steeler fan, Resley Kring, Derek Dodgers Royals fan, Bears Den 007, thank you very much for joining me. Tomorrow we will be at Yankee Stadium for the Kansas City Royals and the New York Yankees. We all know what happens when those 2 teams get together, as we'll start another week of the restart. Until then, This is Robert from RJL 518. Thanking you very much for coming. Drive home safely. Live long and prosper. Have a good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.